What's going on, everyone? This is Cadman Cycling. Welcome back to the channel. Here we are in Watopia. This is part of the Zwift Fondo series. Today we're doing the Bambino Fondo. So I believe once a month Zwift has this Fondo series that happens over the weekend. So you can join at various times throughout Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and do kind of whichever route you want to. The Bambino Fondo that I'm doing today is the shortest version of the Fondo, but it's still over 50 kilometers long. So today's route is just around that 53 kilometer mark and just under 400 meters of climbing. So it'll take us around Watopia, start downtown, kind of make our way through the S's, I believe, towards the Epic KOM, but we'll turn off of the Epic KOM, go across the bypass, takes us over to Fuego Flats, and quite a bit of kind of flat riding with the group through the desert, and then ultimately makes our way over to the volcano where we finish it up on the volcano climb. So it takes us across all of Watopia, a good route to really avoid climbing for the most part, but really get some distance in. So like I said, this is the shortest Fondo option, but it's still actually the longest route or longest ride I've done on Zwift. The Grand Fondo, I think, is almost 100 kilometers. So here we are, settling in. A really big pack today, so over 600 total riders. I started right at the front of the group, but one of the things I want to work on today is pacing. This being a long ride, I need to make sure I fuel myself and pace myself. But I also just need to get better at that overall in terms of racing as well. So today's not a race. I'll be pushing myself, but it's really not the go all out early and see how long I can hang on. So eventually it kind of settled down, skipped forward here to 9 kilometers in, and I'm right around that 200th place mark. So we're starting, this would be the start of the Epic. We still climb a decent amount, but we will take a bypass once we get to the top. So like I said, trying to pace myself so I didn't start out too hard. I was kind of falling back in those first couple K, just trying to keep it around that 200, 225 watt mark until I found a good group to work with. And I did find a pretty good group around that 200 mark. This is really the first climbing of the route where, again, it's going to get all broken apart. So very strung out, just kind of pushing my own pace here. And I really need to work on pacing. So that's something that really it goes back to racing in the C group. It's just all about staying with the front group. And you put in as much effort as you can to stick with the front group without even worrying about pacing. So I've kind of fallen into that same habit now in B races where I give everything I can to stay with the front group. And that's just kind of like a Zwift racing tactic. But I know it's not helpful in the long term. And as I'm trying to build up endurance, I really need to pace myself better and even start to seek some negative splits when I can. So that was the goal today. I kind of started off easy. I wanted to get warmed up, see where that put me, and then hopefully start to put in some more effort once we get to the middle or end of this ride. So that put me in 200th place, now up to about 180th. Finishing up that climb, we're about to turn left and take the bypass here. Like I said, it's under 400 meters of climbing, which is a lot in a 20 kilometer race, but for this being a 53 kilometer ride, it's not a whole lot. And especially with the volcano KOM at the end, that's really where we get a lot of our climbing meters and elevation in. So really settled down. I skipped forward now. We're going through the desert. This is where I think we really benefited from a big pack. So I'm back to that 200th place range right now. This desert section had a turnaround in it. So that's why we're seeing kind of riders going both ways right now. But this is where a lot of the time of this Fondo was on this desert route. It's extremely flat, no climbing. So the fact that we had this big group of, I think it was 35 or 40 riders all working together and pushing the pace, this is where we kind of just started catching a lot of smaller groups and a lot of riders in front of us. So really important to be in a group whenever possible. That's pretty much just how Zwift works. Is the bigger groups move faster, and if you're caught out, it's tough luck. I saw that really in my Scotland race as well, just in that short city and Skr route. As we'll go ahead and skip forward, moving forward to the volcano. So here we are, 4 kilometers left. You can see, so now I'm in 150th place. We really did eat into the people in front of us. We were catching a lot as we were moving by and starting the KOM, and now we're going uphill. So the group's going to completely break apart. But like I said, it's all about staying with the group. I saw that in Scotland on the downhills in that short city and Skr route. Even if it's just 2 or 3 other people to work with, having the benefit of the draft drastically affects timing, more so than any kind of bike choice. So yeah, that's what Zwift racing is all about. And especially in this Fondo, where yes, it's a race, yes, it's a ride, ultimately just trying to get to the finish together. So having that group through the desert really made this a fun ride. Overall, I paced myself extremely well, especially going into this climb. I honestly felt really good, to the point that I thought I could keep the pace that we were at for another 30 minutes, another hour even. Of course, it's easy to say, harder to do. But I felt really good during this ride. I think I had 3 gels. I had a granola bar. I set aside 3 bottles of water. I think I went through 2 of them throughout the ride, but got to the base of this volcano KOM and felt really good. So we were still with that pack. It wasn't the full 40. It might have been 20 or 25 that hit the base of this volcano. And this is where I decided to push it. I said, let's see what we have left in the tank. There's no reason to hold back anymore. So this is where it kind of turned from that Fondo group ride into a all-out effort to the finish. And really, I'm feeling good, and I'm catching riders. Went from that 180th, 200th place to somewhere in the 150s at the base of the climb, and I'm really just seeing how many more riders I can catch. From that initial group, it's extremely strung out. We have about 5 to 8 riders here on the front that are pushing together, and I want to see what I can do. I'm holding on to the feather. I know that the steepest part of this volcano climb is actually in like that last 200, 300 meters. It gets up over 10 or 11%, just kind of where that final sprint starts. So I'm holding on to the feather, knowing that portion is coming. But guys, really enjoyed this, and thanks for watching these videos and all the support. You guys are awesome. I've seen you in a lot of these Fondos and races all across Zwift, so it's cool seeing what you guys are up to, and it's all about improving together. I know I'm feeling a lot stronger here in March than I was when I jumped back on Zwift last September or October. So it's fun kind of getting the distance in as well. I know I used to stick to just the really short rides, but doing something like this where I'm not in the front group, I'm not kind of getting to a sprint finish where I'm trying to hit a podium, but having a lot of fun with it, just getting the miles in. So this was cool. So here we go. About 300 meters left. I'll slow it down. So this is 100x speed or 1x speed. Hit the feather a little bit too early. So it's 5% right now. The grade really goes up in about 100 meters. So unfortunately, I hit that feather and it runs out before we hit the steepest section. There's still about 150 meters left. I'm in 138th now. But there's a bunch of carrots out here in front of me. So there's maybe 8 people I can see in my sights here. So heart rate's high, 188 beats per minute. I really was pushing it up this final climb. I'm able to go through like 5 riders there and just continue pushing it through the finish line. And that's that. So 53 plus kilometers done here. I actually went down the volcano as well to get some extra miles in, but we got 133rd, almost an hour and a half of riding, 2.6 watts per kg. I'm pretty happy with that. I was thinking 2.5 to 2.7, so that's right around the amount I thought I could hold, and I felt pretty good doing it. Happy with that positioning too, considering I think I paced myself pretty well. I was passing more people in the second half than people were passing me. So guys, had a lot of fun. This was my first Fondo. I'll definitely be looking to do more into the future. I think it's good to get these long rides in, as there's some good base work, some good zone 2 work, and that's what I need to be more successful just on Zwift, on the bike, and racing in general. So guys, hope you enjoyed. Maybe you got a chance to do this or get some miles in over the weekend, but hope you're enjoying Zwift as well. So until the next one, this is Cadman Cycling, and I'll catch you then. Bye.